In the gleaming metropolis of Silverton, where chrome towers reached toward the clouds and holographic billboards lit up the evening sky, there lived a man named Marcus Chen. To his neighbors, Marcus was simply a software architect who worked from home. But to his two children, 8-year-old Emma and 5-year-old Jake, he was the world's greatest dad, always present for breakfast, never missing a soccer game, and somehow always knowing when they needed him most. What nobody knew, not his kids, not his friends, not even his late wife's family, was that Marcus carried an extraordinary burden. He was the city's silent protector, a guardian who operated in the shadows with abilities that defied explanation. Marcus had gained his powers 7 years ago, shortly after Jake's birth, during what should have been a routine commute. A chemical truck had overturned on the highway, releasing an experimental compound into the air. While others fled, Marcus had stayed to help trapped drivers. The exposure changed him at a molecular level. Within weeks, he discovered he could move with incredible swiftness, possessed strength far beyond human limits, and had developed an almost supernatural awareness of danger around him. For years, Marcus used these gifts carefully. He never sought fame or recognition. Instead, he'd slip out after his children fell asleep, wearing a simple dark suit he'd designed himself, lightweight, flexible, made from advanced polymers that could withstand tremendous force. He became known only as the Sentinel, a mysterious figure who appeared when the city needed him most. Silverton had its share of threats, but none more persistent than a criminal mastermind who called herself Cypher. She was a former tech genius who'd been betrayed by corporate partners and now sought to punish the city she blamed for her downfall. Her latest scheme was particularly dangerous. She'd created a network virus capable of simultaneously shutting down every system in Silverton: traffic lights, hospitals, water treatment, emergency services, everything. One Thursday evening, as Marcus was helping Emma with her math homework while Jake built towers with blocks nearby, his heightened senses detected something wrong. Through the window, he could see traffic lights beginning to flicker erratically. His phone buzzed with emergency alerts. The city's infrastructure was under attack. Marcus's heart raced. He looked at his children, so peaceful and trusting. Emma was explaining a problem to him, her face scrunched in concentration. Jake was humming contentedly as he stacked another block. "Emma, sweetheart," Marcus said gently, "I need you to do something important for me. Can you be in charge for a little while? Make sure Jake brushes his teeth and gets ready for bed. I have an urgent work call I need to handle." Emma looked up, sensing something in her father's tone. At 8, she was perceptive beyond her years. "Is everything okay, Dad?" Marcus smiled, touching her cheek softly. "Everything will be. I promise. I'll be back before you know it." He kissed both children, lingering just a moment longer than usual, then headed to his home office. Within minutes, he'd changed into his suit and slipped out through the garage, moving so quickly through the streets that he was just a blur. The virus's source wasn't hard to locate. His technical knowledge combined with his enhanced senses led him straight to an abandoned server farm on the industrial edge of the city. Inside, surrounded by banks of humming computers and flickering screens, Cypher sat at her command station. "I was wondering when you'd arrive, Sentinel," she said without turning around. "Right on schedule, predictable." "Whatever happened to you, this isn't the answer," Marcus called out, moving cautiously through the facility. "Innocent people will die if those systems fail." Cypher spun her chair to face him, her expression cold. "Innocent? There are no innocent people in this city. Only the ones who profit and the ones who suffer." She pressed a button and suddenly the room came alive with defensive systems, drones, automated weapons, energy barriers. Marcus had walked into a trap. For the next several minutes, Marcus fought like he never had before. He dodged laser targeting, disabled drones mid-flight, and pushed through pain as some attacks connected. But Cypher had studied him, learned his patterns, anticipated his moves. As he struggled, Marcus thought of Emma and Jake. He thought of bedtime stories left unfinished, of Jake's upcoming birthday, of Emma's science fair next month that she'd worked so hard on. He thought of the promise he'd made to their mother, before she passed, that he'd always be there for them no matter what. That thought crystallized something inside him. He'd been holding back, afraid of what his full power might do. But his children needed him alive. The city needed him successful. And sometimes, being careful wasn't enough. Marcus stopped dodging and started moving forward. He tore through Cypher's defenses not with brute force, but with precision and purpose. Every move was calculated, every action deliberate. Within moments, he'd reached the central server, and with his technical expertise and enhanced speed, began manually reversing the virus's effects. Cypher tried to stop him, but Marcus was unstoppable now. As the city's systems came back online one by one, she realized she'd lost. "This isn't over," Cypher hissed as security sirens began wailing in the distance. "It is for tonight," Marcus replied quietly. "And tomorrow, maybe you'll realize that revenge only leaves everyone empty." He left before the authorities arrived, racing home through streets where traffic lights now functioned normally, where hospital monitors beeped steadily, where life continued uninterrupted. When Marcus slipped back into his house, he found both children in Emma's room. She'd gotten Jake ready for bed as asked, but they'd both been waiting, worry evident on Emma's young face. "Dad, you were gone so long," Emma said, relief flooding her voice. Marcus knelt down, pulling both children into a tight embrace. "I'm sorry, sweethearts. The work emergency took longer than I expected." Jake wrapped his small arms around Marcus's neck. "You're home now, Daddy. That's what matters." As Marcus tucked them both into bed, Jake in his own room, then returning to sit with Emma, his daughter looked at him thoughtfully. "Dad, do you think there are real heroes out there? Like people who help others even when it's hard?" Marcus smiled, brushing hair from her forehead. "I think heroism isn't about having special powers or being extraordinary. It's about showing up for the people who count on you. It's about doing the right thing even when it's difficult, like you do for us, like everyone can do in their own way." Emma seemed satisfied with this answer. As her eyes grew heavy, she murmured, "You're my hero, Dad." Marcus felt his throat tighten with emotion. "And you're my reason for everything, sweetheart. You and your brother both." After Emma fell asleep, Marcus stood in the hallway between his children's rooms, listening to their peaceful breathing. The city might know him as the Sentinel, a mysterious guardian in the night. But here, in this quiet house, he was simply Dad. And that was the role that mattered most. Being a father and a protector meant constant sacrifice, endless vigilance, and living with the fear that one day he might not make it home. But as he watched his sleeping children, Marcus knew he'd face any danger, overcome any obstacle, to keep them safe and give them the childhood they deserved. The night had been won. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, it always did. But for now, in this moment, his family was safe, his children were dreaming peacefully, and Marcus Chen was exactly where he needed to be. That was the real superpower, the unwavering love of a parent, and the determination to be present no matter what shadows he had to face. And so the Sentinel would continue watching over Silverton, his true strength drawn not from the abilities that set him apart, but from the two small hearts that beat in the rooms down the hall, the hearts that made him not just a guardian, but a father.